What are we really chasing? Sometimes the mind pretends to move in straight lines, point A to point B, problem to solution, question to answer. That's the story we tell ourselves about thinking. That is neat, organized, and logical. Like a map with clear roads and clear destinations. You wake up in the morning. You make a plan. You follow a plan. Work hard. Save money. Build something. Improve your life. Simple, straight, predictable. At least that's what it looks like on the surface. But if you pay attention to your own thoughts, really pay attention, you start noticing something strange. Your mind doesn't actually move like a straight road. It moves like a spiral. A thought appears, and then another thought circles around it. And then another one connects to that. And before you know it, you're somewhere completely different than where you started. For example, a person might start with a simple thought. I want to be successful. That sounds clean and simple. But the moment the mind touches that idea, it starts asking questions. What does success mean? Money? Respect? Freedom? And then another thought creeps in quietly behind it. If success is money, how much money counts as success? 100,000? A million? 10 million? Because here's something interesting about the human mind. The number keeps moving. Someone making 50,000 thinks success is 100,000. Someone making 100,000 thinks success is 500,000. Someone making 500,000 thinks success is 5 million. The finish line keeps sliding further down the road. But if the finish line keeps moving, then what exactly are people chasing? Maybe success isn't money. Maybe it's freedom. That sounds deeper, more meaningful. Freedom to do what you want. Freedom to wake up when you want. Freedom to live on your own terms. But freedom from what? Freedom from work. Freedom from stress. Freedom from responsibility. And suddenly the mind starts realizing something uncomfortable. A lot of people think they want freedom, but they don't actually know what they would do with it. Because freedom also means something else. Freedom means you're responsible for your time. You start noticing that many people fill every minute of their lives with noise. Work, phones, TV, scrolling, conversations that don't matter, arguments that go nowhere, drama, constant stimulation. Because silence, real silence, is uncomfortable for the mind. Silence forces the mind to look at itself. But when the mind finally sits in silence long enough, something strange starts happening. Thoughts begin to slow down. Questions become clearer. You start seeing things you didn't notice before. Like how many problems people create just by reacting to things emotionally. Someone says something disrespectful. Someone cuts them off in traffic. Someone disagrees with them online. And suddenly, there's anger, arguments, stress, energy burned on something that didn't actually matter. But if the mind pauses for just a moment, just one breath, something interesting happens. You realize most of these situations were optional. You didn't have to react. You didn't have to engage. You didn't have to step into the argument. A huge percentage of stress in life isn't caused by events. It's caused by participation. We joined fights we didn't need to join. We defend opinions that didn't need defending. We chase validation from people whose opinions shouldn't matter. But the moment you see that clearly, something changes. Mind starts asking a new question. What if peace isn't something you build? What if it's something you protect? Protect your attention. Protect your time. Protect your energy. Because attention is the real currency of life. Whatever you give your attention to grows. Drama grows. Anger grows. Fear grows. But curiosity grows too. Creativity grows. Learning grows. Peace grows. Maybe the real skill in life isn't figuring out every answer. Maybe the skill is learning which questions deserve your attention. Because your mind is always spiraling, always expanding, always connecting ideas. That never stops. But you don't get to choose the direction of the spiral. You can spiral into anger. You can spiral into fear. You can spiral into endless comparison with other people. Or you can spiral into understanding, into curiosity, and into quiet observation. The world doesn't necessarily change. People are still chaotic. Life is still unpredictable. Problems still appear. But the mind becomes steadier, more patient, more selective. Because you start realizing something most people never notice. Mind doesn't need to chase every thought. Sometimes the wisest things a person can do is simply watch the spiral and decide not to step into it.